Alright, so today we're going to be installing Windows onto this computer. A friend of mine called and asked if I could help get it installed on his daughter's computer. So this is a build that she was doing with her dad, and I'm not quite sure how far along they got with the process, so I'm just going to open it up and look around. So I haven't tried to start this or anything yet, but it's a MSI B450 Gaming Plus, and it's got the AMD processor. They're not utilizing the M2, but there is a SATA cable going back here. So I guess I need to see if there's a hard drive in it. Pull this off. There we go. Got the hard drive. So it's pretty common for custom builds not to have CD drives anymore. The copy of Windows I got was actually from a friend. He inherited a hoarder house, and his uncle just was stockpiling all sorts of computer stuff. So we got Windows 8 Pro, but it's on a CD. So first thing we need to do is put Windows on a flash drive and see if we can boot this thing from the flash drive. Alright, so you do need a working computer if you want to put the Windows 10 installation media onto your hard drive. But I'm at Microsoft.com on software downloads Windows 10. I'll put a link in the description. We're going to do download tool now, and it will download a little program that will let you put Windows 10 on flash drive. Let's see. Alright, do you allow this app to make changes to your device? Yes. Getting a few things ready. I find this is kind of slow. It takes a while, so we're just going to wait a bit. Applications notices. We're all good. Click accept. It's going to get a few things ready yet again, which also takes a moment. Alright, so what do you want to do? Upgrade this PC now or create an installation media? We'll do create installation media, USB flash drive, DVD, ISO. English, Windows 10, 64-bit. I like that. USB flash drive. And then, okay, it's found the USB flash drive that I'm going to use. Hit next. And we wait a sec. It's downloading. Neat. Yeah, this process is taking quite a while, but we're almost done. 99%. There it is. Your USB flash drive is ready. So let's click finish. I'm going to go ahead and safely remove hardware. Eject Patriot memory. And now we have Windows on a thumb drive. Alright, I'm just hooking things up. I got a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. The keyboard and mouse, I'm just going through the case USBs, and monitor's hooked up. The motherboard has video outputs, so I'm assuming that it has a processor that has built-in graphics. So let's just plug in the computer and see what's going on. Alright, so it powers up. I'm going to spam the F2. I'm not getting a signal on this monitor, but this monitor has one of its ports is dead. I don't remember if it's the HDMI. Alright, well that doesn't prove anything. Because this monitor's sketchy. Alright, I'm going to go through a TV and an HDMI port. That's my new plan. Alright, so I haven't been able to get a signal out of this thing. I've tried to monitor a TV and 3 different cables just to try to rule out something on my end. So it's looking like this processor, I haven't identified the processor yet, but it's looking like this processor doesn't have onboard graphics. And that could be why this build never got finished. So there's more to the story here. The father and daughter that were building this, the dad, he passed away from a heart attack. And the build never got complete. And so you know, it happened during the time frame where, you know, graphics cards were very expensive, and maybe he had some reluctance in spending $1,500 to acquire a graphics card to finish this build. And that could be what happened. I mean, we got a couple options. I could take off the cooler and clean it up and see what it says and look it up. Or I could just throw a graphics card in there, see how it works. There's another complication, is that the power supply in here is a modular power supply, and it doesn't have you know, the power for running a graphics card plugged in. And I have some, but sometimes the wiring's not uniform on these, and you can really mess things up if you don't use the cables that come with your power supply. So, you know, looking at the hardware that I have in my closet, you know, I got a GTX 260 and a GTX 280, but both of those need extra power, and I don't want to, you know, risk it mixing and matching cables just yet. But I also have this ancient FirePro 3D graphics. I guess it's like a workstation GPU, and so it's got the VGA, and then it's got the video port, and then I have this is something else from the closet. I got a display port. So this is an adapter from DisplayPort to HDMI. So I'm going to try installing this because it doesn't require any extra power, and just seeing if we can get a signal to a monitor or TV so we can continue. Just force shut it down, holding the power button. Oops, it looks like it reset it. Alright, so that's off. Let's unplug it. Alright, so if I'm going to put a graphics card in here, I'm just going to go ahead and reroute the CPU power port. There we go. I'm going to fish this out through the bottom and run it up the back of the case and in. Let's go in right through here. Alright, so for this to plug in, it's going to plug in something like that. Let's see if I can get that bend. Alright, so there's CPU power plugged back in. Let's just secure this with a few zip ties. Alright, let's snip the ends off of these zip ties. So, boom, wire rerouted. So let's open this up. This will just wiggle off. There'll be a little bit of a question whether or not this FirePro 3D graphics works or not, but we'll sort that out. Open up that little clip down there. Alright, we're all lined up. Give it just a little push. There it is. Installed. I'm going to put a screw right there. Oh, hell yeah. Since I still have the TV here, and it only has HDMI ports on it, I'm going to use this converter to go from HDMI to DisplayPort. So let's see what that gets us. I'll just stick it in there. So we're going through the graphics card instead of the the onboard stuff. No signal. Or what is it doing now? Okay, we got it. Okay, so let's we'll delete, get us out of there. Let's try Control Alt Delete, and we'll see. I don't think this one uses F2 to get into the BIOS. Let's see what it says. Come on, delete to run BIOS. Did I miss it? Oh, missed it. One more time. Okay, so we need to hit the delete button. I'm going to start spamming the delete right now. I just spam and delete. Okay, we did it. We're into the BIOS. Let's see what we're working with. So the CPU, AMD Ryzen 5 2600 6-core processor. Then it's got 8 megabytes of RAM storage, 512 gigabyte T-Force. It looked like a SSD. We got some fan information, some help. Okay, so I'm not like super used to running around in BIOSes. Let's see. There's a boot priority if I can get back to it. Hell, I don't know. I guess we'll just Let's just plug this in and then reset the BIOS. So I'm just going to go right here to one of its case USBs. Okay, so I think I got it figured out now. So the way you control this MSI BIOS is you find what you want and you can move it around in the priority list, right? So we're just going to move the USB up there now, and then the T-Force, let's just go ahead and bump that up to the second priority so we don't forget about it. Now, how do I get out of here? Oh, it has mouse, yeah. So how do I get out of here with saving? If I click that, boot, yes. Save configuration, yes. Now let's see what it does. It's thinking. There we go. Now we are running off of the flash drive. Very cool. So let's pick some things. We want English, time, keyboard, next. And let's just click install now. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this Windows 8 copy and get this key. So I mean, the hoarder house I've been talking about a little bit. For my daughter's computer, I found a copy of Windows 7 in there, and I used its key, and it took it. So I guess, is that the key? Oh, I'm gonna keep it secret. I don't know if that matters. But let me type in this key. All right, with product key entered, we're gonna hit next. I don't know if it needs the internet already, but it will prompt us if it does. All right, so it liked that product key. So we'll hit accept and next. Which type of installation do you want? Upgrade, install Windows, keep files, custom install, Windows only. I think I need custom. And then we'll install it onto this drive, okay. This is the only drive in there besides the flash drive, right? So we'll choose that one. Click next. And now it's gonna work for a bit. So at this point, it's just doing its own thing. It takes quite a while. So just come back later and wait for when it prompts you for another input. All right, so we're at, it did its little thing. So now let's see how far we can get without having to log into an account just yet. Because Windows wants you to log into a Microsoft account. So we're in the United States, and we like the US keyboard, no second keyboard. Let's connect you to a network. Ethernet not connected. So there's no onboard wireless, so let me get an Ethernet cable. One end's in my router, the other end in the motherboard. And it says it has identified and connected. Click next. We have some important setup to do. This might be sit back and relax while we work our magic. Okay, wait for the next prompt. How would you like to set it up? Set it for personal use, set it for an organization. So we'll click personal use. It wants to go ahead and let's add your account. Create account, sign in with security key. Uh-oh, what's it doing? Oh, it's booting up. It's figuring out how to use this. Let's be loading some drivers. So I don't actually know. I wonder if we can sign in with security key. What's that do? Insert your security. Oh, nope. Cancel. Other ways to sign in. Is there a way to do it? I'd like to just get in there. Well, this might be as far as I go with this. The girl who this computer is for, she has a Microsoft account. We can just let her log in. I wish there was a way to just skip this for now, just to make sure everything's in good working order for her. Have to Google. All right, so we're sort of doing YouTube inception here, but let's see what this guy has to say.
So is there a way to bypass this? Yes, there is, and it's really simple. So all you have to do is disconnect from your network. So if you're using an Ethernet cable or a wired connection, just simply unplug the cable.
All right, so you just got to get off the thing, and then later, let's see.
So what do you do when the Wi-Fi gets turned off? Well, all you have to do is hit this back arrow right here, and now it's going to reload this page to a domain join instead. Alright, so after hitting that back arrow and it loads up again, you're going to see that it looks a lot different this time, and now it just says who's going to use this PC. So now we are in the domain join process. So this is like creating a traditional computer account. So we can go ahead and just type your name in.
Okay, then he goes on to say that after you do this, Windows will complete its thing, and then when you put it back on the Wi-Fi, you just use it as normal. And so it's who uses this computer, do you want a password, and then it finishes install. So I guess we could do that, and then she could figure out how to put a password on it later. She has an older sister. I was a single child, but I was the only child, but I had friends with siblings, and they preferred to have passwords. So I assume she could figure out how to do that to keep her sister out if that's what she intends to do. Or I could just send this back as is, and I might just let her finish it as is, but there is a way to get around this. So that's good to know. So I think for my purposes of just returning this to her, I'm just going to
make your computer easier to use.
Nope, not that. How do I turn this off safely? So Windows should be installed, right? I don't want to set her up wrong. So I'm going to just go ahead and try this offline account. Let's see what it does. Let's add your account. What, it just sent me back here? Let's add your account. Okay, well what we're going to do is we're going to try that guy's method. I am unplugging the Wi-Fi, the Ethernet. We'll click the back button. Who's going to use this computer? So this will be Miss Izzy's computer. And then he said if you don't want a password, you just hit enter. And so now here's some options. Choose privacy settings. Get a location-based experience based off of weather. I guess that's fine. Diagnostic data, maybe. Let Microsoft use your diagnostic data information about websites you browse. No, let's not track a child. Find my device. Use your device's location data to help you find your device if you lose it. Oh, inking, typing, send optional things like inking, typing, diagnosis. What is that? Language? I don't know about that. Apps can use advertise. No, let's not track a kid for advertising. I don't know. I guess it's good for the weather app to give you accurate information, I guess. We'll go with that. Let Cortana help you get things done. Not now. We're getting everything ready for you. I like to give her a version which is like totally updated and ready to go. So let's just wait to be prompted again. So here we are. We're into Windows without logging in. I'm going to hook the Ethernet back up. Once that identifies it, do you want to allow your PC to be discoverable by other PCs on this device? Yeah, sure, that's a good thing. Especially if you want to like play LAN games or something. Although this poor graphics card I put in here. I've tried using this graphics card before with things as simple as like, Minecraft's not that simple, but it didn't do so good. So let's just go down here and type in check for updates. Let's see, doesn't meet the requirements for Windows 11. Let's just check for updates. Alright, so it's going to do a whole bunch of updates. That's good. Well, let's let that do that. Alright, so it has updated. Let's just go ahead and restart it. Let those updates install. Alright, it's rebooting. Let's see what this opening screen of Windows looks like with this offline account. Oh, it's still thinking. Welcome, Izzy. Welcome. And we'll just go right into it. That's kind of cool. Let's see what's in here. System information. Ryzen 5 2600. What if I can just copy this? Okay, Control C it. Oh my God, come on, Windows, start without data. Oh my Lord, make more useful, learn more. Jesus Christ, just let me surf the web, dude. Okay, so Ryzen 5 2600. Alright, so please note this chip doesn't have integrated graphics, so definitely needed a graphics card. And so I think that confirms that what was holding up this girl's computer was probably the price of graphics cards, and I just gave her a very useless one, but at least she can browse the web and whatever. Let's just watch some random YouTube video. Alright, what? So it seems to be playing video fine. So yeah, you know, this graphics card, like, I've sometimes successfully played a little bit of games with it. I mean, I didn't have it in my computer long because it just wasn't what I needed. I think I remember some successful playing Roblox with my daughter and some successful Minecraft with my daughter on this thing. It's really kind of a dog of a GPU. It's like a graphics accelerator for a workstation or something. So it just does whatever it can, and it's old, but it's got a signal output. So we're good. We're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and just check for updates one more time, and we'll see if it thinks that we're happy. Oh, look, a few more. Let's let it do its thing. All right, we're all up to date. So let's go ahead and double check everything's good. I'm gonna shut it off, turn it on, and shut it off, just to make sure that when she gets it and she plugs it in, it's not a weird, confusing thing. Yep, it's all good to go. So I'm gonna shut this down and send it back to her. All right, I just want to tidy up a few things. So this fan right here, I'm gonna route its cable, you know, behind all this stuff. I think that'll just look just a tiny bit cleaner, not a big deal. And then on the back side, you know, I still have a few zip ties, so I think I'll just use them. So let's just secure all this stuff together. I feel better about that. Okay, snip. Let's get the rear case on there. Just a little minor dusting there. And, oh, I got a lot of fingerprints on here. I'm going to get the inside. I'll do the outside after it's installed. Got that installed. Now let's just take care of a few little smudges on the outside. I'm sure during transport I'm going to make it ugly and gross again, but I'll try to get rid of the worst of it. So this doesn't have all of its mounting hardware. It's missing one of its feet. Alright, so I just shortened the screw here a little bit. You know, wire cutters, they also cut, you know, small threaded bolts. So it's a threaded fitting. You can slide it in and you just cut it like it's a pair of dikes or something. So let's see if that'll make it short enough I can... Oh man, still not quite. Just need a little bit more. Alright, so I got a little gasket material for some, I don't know, intake manifold that I was working on. I'm just going to see if it's thick enough. So I'm going to poke a hole in it, cut out a piece of this. Almost. Maybe one more section. And I can cut it round later. Oh yeah, that'll hold the glass nice and tight. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to cut this material to be a little bit rounder looking. Oh yeah. This is totally not necessary, by the way. I feel kind of sentimental about this project because it's such a terrifying thought. You know, like dying is scary enough, but dying and not knowing like how your kids are, that's absolutely terrifying. So I'm just going to try a little hard. But now the glass is nice and secure. So this Windows key, it's not on a sticker that will remove from the back side and attach to the case. But it should stay with the computer because, you know, fresh installs are something you have to do sometimes, you know, to resolve a problem. So the top filter is magnetically attached. I'm just gonna place the card underneath it, I guess, and that way it'll be visible and accessible, and they'll have the Windows product key. Alright, so I'm going to send with her the box that the graphics card came in and all of the detritus and adapters it has. You know, so it has the VGA to component, and then it also has a VGA to serial port, or whatever, I forget, whatever the old school blue connector is. And then it also has the what is that called, the digital port? Like, God, I don't know why I can't remember, but you know, the display port to the DVI. And then I'm going to give her a DVI cable because I noticed that she didn't have one. So let's pack that up for her. And we'll stick it in its original little box. And I'm thinking another power cord, because I don't remember seeing two. I saw her monitor. She's got a real good keyboard. You know, nice gaming keyboard. And I wonder if I have an extra mouse. I didn't notice a mouse either. Alright, so here's the plan. I'm going to send her with 2 power cords in case she needs them. These oh fuck me, why can't I ever remember what these are called? I'm so bad with names. But the cables for the monitor, the DVIs or whatever, I have some vague memory that I had one that was bad, so I'm going to send 2 of them just in case one doesn't work. And then also a cheap mouse, just in case you don't have one. This is just some extra Logitech mouse that I had laying around. You know, that way she can get going. Man, I wonder if she has speakers or headphones. Well, alright guys, that concludes this video. That's how you install Windows on a custom built PC from a USB flash drive. Hope that was useful to somebody. Y'all have a great day, and if this was useful, give me a thumbs up or something. That helps with the algorithm. Alright, peace y'all.